Alright. Again, sorry for that. Let's just go in and get started on Totally Bear, the first full secret level. It's another bear level, and it's gonna be the hardest bear level. Like, almost unbearably hard. You actually need to use the dash move to clear a lot of the jumps. But we've got a decent amount of lives, so we should be good. Yeah! And I missed two of them. Ah. I should have gone for the try to die on the orca so we could have seen the different death animation. So, this level does not have a crystal. It only has box gem. So, yeah. I don't think I got all of them. I think I missed one, which sucks because we just hit a checkpoint. Also nice. Is no longer there, so fantastic. Missed another one for sure. I think I'm just gonna send it since it's too late anyways. And if I only end up missing one, I'm gonna be a bit upset, not gonna lie. Okay, you need to run for that jump. Okay, so I think we've missed 3 now. Back to only missing 2, I think. Yeah, back to only missing 2. Never mind. Also nice. Right. One of these days I'll remember the jump or not jump order for these guys. Jump, not jump, not jump, jump. Now we're back to missing 3. I did not mean to jump there. Oh well. Back to missing 2. Why did I jump into that? Also, the top half crash is just gone. Okay, so I think missed grand total of 2. Yep. this, I think this still spits you out in the secret warp room. Nope. Well, that's gonna bite.
Crash, my boy, you are more than halfway there. But I'm sure you've noticed that things are getting harder. The last 10 crystals will be the hardest to gather. And our enemies will be sending their strongest forces to thwart you. I'll contact you again when you have completed the next one.
I just want to see what the picture for Totally Bear is. It's totally a bear. Huh? Yeah. You know, strangely, I mean, there's no boss between floors. What do you mean? But no. For whatever reason, this is the boss I remember the most distinctly from this game. Which is weird since it's, you know, smack dab in the middle. I mean, who knows? And all you do is he chases after you, and you gotta get him to be on one of those that start splashing red when it's ready to fall. As the fight in quotes goes on, more fall at a time. And he can go diagonal. And yeah. I don't know why he stayed on that one platform for a little while. Oh no. Right, he can go diagonal. Tiny. It's Tiny the Tiger. Possibly a Tasmanian tiger. I don't know. Those are extinct. I think. I didn't need a slide jump on that one, but... And he's also not very smart, as he'll just go for the most direct path to you, not the path that's the least fallen down. You know, I could have sworn that, like, really early on for the... Oh, wait, it's not his third hit. I was gonna say, for his third hit, like, all but one fall. Not they fall one at a time. Maybe it's just surviving the rest of his animation, but they all fall at the same time for it. Whee! Hanging out, digging it, cold hard crash, ruination, or be paving. This one has a purple gem attached to it, so I guess we'll start there. Just in case. Have all the other colored gems, or yes. Having, maybe, is how it's pronounced. Yeah, on this weird looking ground, you can tunnel under it by spinning. Certain enemies can't hurt you, but others can, and will kill you a lot easier. Like, bees can't get to you, but bees only attack when you go past their hive. Going under nitro will kill you, and then you just jump to get back out. Jump too soon. Can't remember if this guy deals damage or just gets in the way. Oh, it's timed electro fence. And the bees got me, I think. Bees, for whatever reason, will also not go over a hole. And you can defeat the bees. It's just usually easier to avoid them. So if I remember correctly, an infinite amount will spawn, so... But yeah, Elmer Fudd over here can kill you while you're underground. In fact, I think it's even got a different death animation when you're underground versus when you're above ground. Nice. Oh. Ooh, that was close. I almost ran into these nitro that aren't bouncing and aren't really in the way. Anyways. Now, if I remember correctly, that's all this section has to offer, so I could just vamoose. But I'm gonna try to not to. Also nice. Ah, shit. Oh, hey, nice. Almost had double nice. In fact, for a brief moment before I died, I had double nice, but this is no longer the case. And now we're back to nice lives. That was weird that they started spawning so early. Why would I come up here? That was really bad timing. But there being nitro here means there might be the nitro switch at the end. In which case, we do need to actually do the shitty 2.5D thing. Nice. What the hell? I've been able to walk underneath them before. Walk underneath them in that section before. What gives? Yeah, it's a different animation if you're in the ground when he smacks you. And all the animation is Crash like puts up a tombstone. Nope. Hey game, you ready to start taking pity on me yet? No? Yes? Maybe? Yep. You know, I vaguely remember having to backtrack on this theme of level. Part of me is thinking, rather, that once you finish the weird nitro path, that it spits you out further in the level, but there's boxes. Also, these plants are weird because they're like one of the few enemies in the game that you get fruits for killing, but you have to kill them with a slam, not a just jumping on them. Yeah, it was honestly, yeah, those guys do kill you. It was probably a mistake resetting to this checkpoint, especially since I just got Aku coverage. Allergic to bees. And also you'll find out later, it's like actually start killing more of these weird plant things. They have like the most bullshit hitbox in the game. Because you see those spikes all around them? Yep. I don't talk politics. Come on. Yeah, I am going to reset the level back to using the other checkpoint. And I'm sorry to hear that, but I do not talk politics. I sure did see the new Pokemon. It looks good, and I'm definitely thinking I'm choosing the fire starter again. Because I do not like the water starter, and I don't like the grass starter as much as I like the fire starter, so... I didn't know you could jump that. Uh, they might be based on that. I don't. I haven't looked too much into it. It's certainly tropical islands, all right. Cool. Yep, no reason to go past there if you get the purple gem. Okay, and you don't have to do any backtracking on the level. Bad timing. I don't know why I was even fucking trying there. I lost a lot of lives on this level. I should have stayed underground. Bullshit lingering hitbox. Fantastic. Well, at least I don't got to do the bonus again. Not gonna risk you. Okay, there we go. Now back to doing the levels in order. Only went out of order for that one to get the purple gems, so. Hey. Got the little scrubbing bubbles guys. They're gonna come racing through here while we deal with the possessed barrels. Alright, that's more of the hanging sections. Monkey bars, or whatever you want to call them. Yeah, I figured. When I was a kid, I remember thinking that the little like monkey bar sections like that are cool, and not. I really didn't like the spiky guys on it because I thought they were getting in the way of what should have just been having some fun climbing on the ceiling. Um, but now I'm not a huge fan of those sections. I still don't get why you can bring your feet up by pressing the crouch button. It literally does nothing. Okay, before we go down there, we're gonna checkpoint and crystal. It's a pretty good rule of thumb for these kinds of games is if you load back into an area from a sub area, check behind where you are when you've got a fixed camera. so hard to see their actual travel path. And I think this is mostly just extra lives they're down here. Also, I'm not convinced this is actually possible. Like, if I go here, am I dead? Yes. You know, maybe the thing I was complaining about, this is like the one time where bringing your feet up helps you. He does look like he's flying kind of low, so... Yep. Can't remember if this is a secret exit. Looks like it. Yep, totally fly. Not looking forward to doing that one. I could have sworn I thought I would get this one first. Oh well. Trying out totally bare again. Nice. Fuck, I forgot I gotta dash jump over that one. And we missed one. So, jumping back in the water. At least I think I missed one. Okay, we actually got them all this time. I was so dumb first time around that I missed one of the two stacked on top of each other right there. And we missed one. Going to heaven and taking his bear with him. Yep. I'm good at this game, aren't I? No, I'm not. This one. I love when this death animation happens where you're in the water but you're actually in the level. So cool. Okay. 20. Only 21. Okay, maybe try jump that pond right there. once again, I missed it. Gotta remember, it's right after the big jump. Oh yeah, you're not clearing that pond. Maybe with another dash jump? They are carvings of polar bears. Based off of, like, I want to say Inuit culture? Some other Native American thing, maybe? Or do that. Okay. Yeah, that first checkpoint I got just now was a pity checkpoint. They don't typically put them that close to each other. God damn it. Jump this one, under this one, dash through that one. Missed a box. Okay, and okay. Okay, should just be one more. Right there. Now just need to not die. Never mind, the level's over.
Crash! I haven't got much time. Cortex has almost completed the new space station. Something is not right with his statements. Beware of the trickster.
Going up. Don't know. That was weird. So since we got a gem that belonged to a different warp zone, and it just went up and away and didn't unload. Hanging out. Right, we didn't actually finish this level. We took the early exit. I don't remember where the early exit was. Now I do remember where it was. Also, I forgot this was a sewer level. thought there was more space between those two. I'm not waiting around. Okay. Bonus. Aww. It would have been so satisfying to actually get all of them all at once. Good job. Fucking 2.5 B's nuts. Right. Good. 8 the input. Like, I know this is an objectively worst way to get all the stuff out of those crates, but it's also a more fun way of doing it. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. fun way. Yeah, someone who gets it. Ah, choked at the last second. This wouldn't be a hard level to get the secret exit and get everything on, since, like, it wouldn't be the easiest. That goes to the one bear level, but seeing how there's not even a second checkpoint, there's not another checkpoint between the checkpoint closest to the secret exit and the regular exit, you could, if you wanted to, run here, grab this gem, and then backtrack to the secret exit. But no. Digging it. This is supposed to be the first of the bee and digging levels that you play, but I want the purple gem. And the landmines still don't do any damage to you. It's kind of weird that they're included in a non-chase level, but they are. There was one time when I played this as a kid where I just so happened to go exactly where the moving statue guys would go, to the point where for a few years I was convinced that they actually tried blocking you and not just moving along a set pattern. I think I think that's about what I thought it was, but I think it's just they move in like a diamond. They move in a diamond pattern. Nope. Probably could have made it up there, but I think it's just extra lives up there, not any extra boxes. Alright. This is why I remember backtracking on this theme of level. Which means I am gonna kill this one. Okay, now the landmines make more sense. Yeah, that figures. I don't think there's any more boxes. Yeah, there is not. So now that we've got the gem, so we have 56 boxes now. We should be at 53. So we grab these ones. Backtracking is gonna suck, but I honestly will probably be better just going through the other side of the fort backwards than trying to do this one in reverse, even with it half cleared. Just because there's bees and nowhere to dig. Thank you. Thank you. Figures. I'll keep just trying to backtrack through the other fort until I die enough times to get pity, and then I'll go back to trying to back through the left side. I think I've seen him before, but I can't say for sure. I'm not good with names. Good. Good. Is that enough? Nope. Just need to make sure I don't grab that checkpoint right there. That would be a bad move. Oh, got lucky on that one. Not gonna sugarcoat it. I got lucky with that beat. as I was diving into the ground. Yeah. There's definitely a lot of, or at least an environmentalist side to the game series, but like in the first one, which I'm not going to be playing. If you think I'm bad at this, the first one is a whole nother beast. And like the last section, a lot of the levels in the last section of the first game were like essentially toxic power plants. So they were really trying to drive home the mad scientist ruining the world bit there. Aww. Still not gonna grab that checkpoint, even though I probably should. And I know this wakes up bees. And there's 2 electric fences. Is that enough? Yes. Damn it. Okay, these hives are only sending 1 bee out at a time, which is good. So I have a better chance of surviving them without getting hurt. And you know, now that I'm thinking about this, I'm not 100% certain that the entrance to this path can actually be used as an exit. But it can! And I didn't even need the extra help for it. Now to go through the level like a sane person. Looks like I actually managed to get pretty close to working my way all the way back, but that's about what I expected. Ah, no. Forgot that that means I have to do this again. Okay, slide off that one. To be perfectly honest, when I first decided I was going to wait until I had the pity mask, it was because I thought that the bee sent out more than one bee at a time. I mean, one bee I can kind of deal with. I can deal with more often than not. But when they're sending out the full swarm like they usually do, well, like they were doing in the other level, I cannot deal with that many bees at once. Never been stung by a bee. I have no plans on getting stung by a bee because I know my mom's allergic to it, so who's to say I didn't have that passed on to me? Mm. I think this is pretty close to the exit, which is why I am... Oh no, it's not pretty close to the exit. So I do not want to have to do this again. Although, if how the game works, we should have that secured now, so even if I die, I'll respawn and still have it. Okay, let's test that hypothesis, I guess. Yes. Fantastic. Alright, is that an official thing, or what? But kind of weird that this plant's just all here by himself. Anyways. Okay, that's the... Hmm. And that's why we don't just slam the giant pile of boxes. Like, I vaguely remember there being something nasty mixed in, so I didn't want to push my luck too far. Yep. Okay. And that puts us back at the regular beginning of the level. Only now we can get all the boxes this time. Ah, shit. Oh, I hope there's not any boxes on the death path. Oh. I mean, I still hope there's no boxes over here, but... Okay, so we're going in with 50... Shit. Darn. I vaguely remember there's like a perfect rhythm you can get into where it's just spaced that you can continue to jump over them and not get hit. But I apparently did not have that rhythm. Alright. Yeah, I figured you'd be here. Which has me thinking that it also tracks deaths from other attempts at a level. So I don't think I died that many times at this checkpoint this go round, but if you combined it with the last time I cleared the level, then yeah. Nice. Okay, we're just gonna pretend that there's no boxes there, and if there is... Ah! And if there is, we'll just hate ourselves for it. Why did I still go back on the path? second. Yeah, well, nice. Oh, this is the wrong. That's the wrong level I'm looking at. Not ruination. Road to ruin. Okay. Does not look like you need to do the death path to get all of them. So we're not gonna. We've already got the gem from over there, so we do not need to go do it again. Bonus. I need to get a different headset. This one's getting worn out and starting to just mess with my ears. Not the hearing part, but like it's starting to get uncomfortable with how worn out it is. But I ain't got money. So as long as it works, it gets to work. Hooray! Thank goodness. Whee! Alright, Cold Hard Crash. I think this is the last snow and ice level. It might even be or it might be the last chase level. I think it's snow and ice. Yeah, it's not chase level. favorite. Two, three, four, 10. Whee! Oh, whoops. Two, three, four, five, six, 8, 9, 10. Just double check. Aha! Alright, now to just jump down a hole so that being invincible doesn't matter. Or go on a death route. Right. I knew there was a shitty part in an ice level with a ton of boxes behind half a wall. Just couldn't remember what level it was. And unfortunately, that unfilled in lock means we're gonna have to come back at some point after we find its switch. Well, that was fun. Missed both the gem and the box I needed to go back for. And now, this time, I'm not going to get invincibility to help me cheese out the end. I'm going to actually have to pretend to be good at this game. This first, since we're going to have to do this multiple times, probably going to just try to grab the gem at the end first. So that I can just keep it between deaths and then try to exit through the entrance again in case there's boxes that I'm missing on the normal route. well. Fuck. Alright, before I go... Okay, there's no more boxes up here. Good job. There might actually be more boxes. I don't know. Okay. I'm not gonna miss ice levels when they're gone. Okay, we got the gem. Gosh darn it. Well, now we'll get a second hit. At least. And we can waste it right away. It's hard to describe, but part of the reason I'm fumbling up that jump so much is ice momentum like ice physics still kind of apply when you're in the air, I think. So it's really hard to change his momentum mid jump. Gosh dang it. Even if I got gems, still have to go back to get the boxes. So because you get so much extra speed from ice compared to regular fucking ground, and you can't change direction that well without sliding, and then you're just zooming off in the opposite direction. Jumping kind of throws me for a loop. And it doesn't help that you hold on to ice move. That's because I don't have a way to stream Switch games. Switch or Switch 2. Anything I've streamed has been on my computer, either through an emulator or Steam. Or in like 2 cases, there's been like a browser game or they've had their own downloaded thing. I do not have a capture card or anything. Right. Use the shitty 2.5D section to your advantage. That was dumb of me. That was so dumb of me. Don't get me wrong, I would like to be able to stream Switch or Switch 2 games. Like, I would have loved streaming ZA or something. But I just do not have the ability to do so. Nope. Not fully 2.5D. And I've got to remember just how long the damage from Nitro sticks around. Good. Very good. I think eventually ZA. So just the main game, I would say, is probably like a 8 out of 10. It's a very fun game. I've enjoyed the Legends Pokemon games a lot more than the mainline ones, and than most of the mainline ones that I've played in in the last while. Like they're genuinely fun games, but the DLC and mostly just the DLC, if you're trying to get complete Pokédex in it, is not very well optimized. Shiny hunting is pretty easy in the game, so if that's something you're into, then good on you, I guess. There's been a few times I've shiny hunted in it, and if you know what you're doing, you can get what you're looking for within 20 minutes, no trouble. Um, but with but yeah, the DLC I think could have put it up to a 9 if you're not going for complete Pokédex in it. Because then you're gonna have to deal with a lot of grinding and waiting. That's just unfun. And I do like more of the new megas than I dislike of the new megas. I haven't played it to get my since they did the uh, Garchomp Z or Mega Garchomp Z. Yeah, that's it. I need to. I just keep forgetting to. And I technically don't have 100% in it because I need to do trade evolutions, and my plan has always been to do that with my brother, who has even less free time than me, and hasn't been wanting to go back to ZA for a while, so one day I'll just make him do it so I can get that taken care of. But until then, I'm still technically sitting at like 97% or something stupid like that. But judging the DLC separately from the main game, I would say DLC is probably like a 6.5 or a 7. Really held back by its like grindy luck-based stuff when you're going for completion. And there's another part of please someone got a checkpoint at some point. Yes. What was I saying? Like in the post game of the DLC, there's a part that I think they could have really streamlined a lot better, and they didn't. So it's a little annoying, but I can deal with it. Just could have been a lot better. Okay, so there's a box back there. I think it's close enough that when I hit the nitro switch, it would have been broken, but extra life. Nope. There we go. Now, comparing ZA and Arceus, I think I like ZA's combat better. Like um the actual live, not live action, but active combat. That's what a normal person would say. Is a lot more fun. Like I like that they did put a twist on the regular turn-based for Arceus. Shit. But really that's just turn-based plus. Um, I think I like the story of Arceus better. I kind of liked the crafting. Like it gave you a reason to like like you don't do a ton of shopping in it because you know it's a fledgling society. There's not really anywhere. There's like one place to spend money, and you get to make your own Pokeballs and stuff. So you become self-sufficient, and I just thought it was a cool little inclusion. I get not liking the crafting system in it, but I liked it. Also, I like the Hisuian forms. Like, I can't think of a single one I didn't like. Well, that's not true. White Stripe Basculin was dumb. It should have just been Basculin, period. Nope. Basculin, period, evolves into Basculegion. But I like Basculegion, I like Hisuian Arcanine and Growlithe, and the Voltorb and Electrode were pretty cool. Enamorus exists, I guess. Hisuian Braviary, feels so weird because it's included so late in the game, and from what I remember, it's been years since I played it. I'm missing a box. God, no, no, no. Please let me be able to get it still. Oh, okay, so whatever box I'm missing is behind me, behind the checkpoint. That's not a good sign. I'm gonna have to do this fucking level again. which means I'm gonna have to do the death path again because there's boxes along it. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Well, let's go secure this garbage. I'm not looking forward to redoing this level. You know, my plan was to try and beat this game tonight. I'm not sure that's gonna happen. I'll try at least finish this warp zone and the boss that comes after. I mean, there's not a boss, it's just going on to the next zone. Ooh. But I'm not beating it tonight like I thought I would. The fruits are a nice bonus, but I care more about getting boxes than I do about getting the wrong fruits. Yeah, I think they could have done Origins Palkia or whatever its form was called better than they did. Like, Dialga's looks fine. Because Dialga was kind of already in a horse-like shape, but yeah, Palkia was not so good. Six, 7, 9, 10. I remember I got soft locked for like a solid 2 weeks in the game because Nintendo fixed a exploit in a poor way. Okay, so we should have 5. Yep. So I got soft lock where you're supposed to get Cresselia. That's the box I missed. So with Cresselia, you were supposed to go through this tiny little archway cave thing. An NPC would stop you and be like, "Look, there's Cresselia. Go get it." And then you go get Cresselia, you come back, talk to the NPC again, and then you can progress. Yep. Anyways, you could also just climb around that part of the cave and get Cresselia without talking to the NPC. On release, this led to this had an oversight, which made so you could catch Cresselia twice. Once by climbing up the way I did, and catching Cresselia that way, and then going through and talking to the NPC the way you were intended to, which would cause Cresselia to respawn, and then you would come back out, talk to the NPC, and progress. Now, because I because of when I did it the way I did it, it didn't respawn Cresselia. What it did instead is Cresselia would still be spawned, and I would catch it. I caught it like normal, nothing big, nothing strange there. But the NPC that would allow me to move on in the quest would not acknowledge that I caught Cresselia, and a new Cresselia would not spawn for him to acknowledge me to catch. And it took Nintendo like 2 weeks to get it patched out, to where if you caught Cresselia at all, the NPC would be aware and you can move on. And it sucked because that was like one of the last quests in the game. Like technically it's a post-game quest. Sorry for the spoilers on a like 5-year-old game. I mean, I was still able to like, I think I spent most of the time waiting for the update, just going out and filling out the Pokédex since you had to... Why did I do that? Since you had to do side objectives for every Pokemon to truly fill them out. I just went through and did that for everything that still needed it. But I was still not happy about having to wait. I also remember getting frustrated at the Manaphy quest, since you have to bring a specific Pokemon to a specific point for that quest, but that information isn't in what Pokemon and where you need to take it isn't in Legends Arceus. It was in Shining Diamond and no, Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, BDSP. Which, while sure that's clever, still sucked that they, uh, locked that information into another game. I did end up just looking it up. I mean, I do have Shining Pearl, because I got it when I was in Japan for very, very cheap. And I also got my brother Brilliant Diamond as a souvenir. But never finished beating that. Part of me wants to go through and just beat it with a Turtwig. Turtwig, well, maybe use the entire... I'd use the entire line. But... Good. No. Right. Have I died enough for you to take super pity on me? Nope. Um... Thinking about it, it's weird. Like, um, the Turtwig line is my favorite line of Pokemon because it's got my two favorite, and don't ask me which is which. Um, Pokemon Turtwig and Torterra. Those two are my favorites. Um, but I don't have a lot of fond memories of Gen 4. It's weird. Couldn't tell you why, but it's just the way it is. Cool. Cool. Very cool. Like, I remember playing a lot of Gen 3, I remember playing Gen 2, I remember playing Gen 1, but Gen 4 I don't remember much of, even though I know I've beaten it. Like, the only other definitive memory I have about Gen 4 is it was when I got my first non-Red Gyarados shiny. And it's weird because I didn't even recognize that I caught the thing when I first caught it. Because it was a Graveler, and I didn't recognize that it was a shiny Graveler. I just thought, oh, that's a Graveler, I need a Graveler, I'll catch it. Because it wasn't until much later when I was just looking through my PC I realized, huh, what's that weird symbol next to Graveler mean? Oh, it's a shiny. I guess Graveler wasn't always this brown. And then I borrowed my brother's DS and copy of Diamond to evolve it. And I say borrowed in air quotes. He was, I think, at volleyball practice or something, and his DS was just sitting there, so. Okay, come on. You cannot crawl on ice, unfortunately. Okay, don't fall down a hole. Good enough. I hate ice. In video games and in real life. I do not like cold. I do not like snow. I do not like ice. I live in a desert for a fucking reason. Granted, most of that reason is just because it's where I was born and raised, but. And I've still got family here, so. I also sometimes joke around that I don't find the sound of rain all that comforting. Like, I know a lot of people are like, a lot of people really love the sound of rain when they're trying to sleep. I don't. Like, I don't dislike it, but I do not have the same love for it that everyone else does. Oh, you can kill them with their spikes up. I thought they were invincible. Oh. But the sound I do like that actually helps me sleep is the sound of a fire crackling, which is weird because I do not live somewhere where you'd ever want a fire going, especially not while you're trying to sleep. And I'm not one of the people that has to have a fan on or anything like that. This white noise, like, I need airflow, but I don't need the noise. And usually there's enough airflow just in a room as it is. Yay! Now let's not have to do this ever again. I remember calling Wumpa fruit either apples or peaches growing up. Because I think my dad called them peaches. Granted, looking back at it now, he could have also been talking to our dog. The dog we had when I was really little was a pug named Peaches. So he could have been referring to the dog. Because I guess these are more mango-y than peach or apple, but they're Wumpa fruits, so they're their own thing. Well, one more. Okay, it's got 2 gems in it. Ruination. Okay. I still have to blow that up. Fuck. I'm gonna have to redo this level, I think. Because hard path. Or death route, or whatever you wanna fucking call it. Is it just fruit up there? Nope. Aqua's up there. Also, fun fact, apparently you don't have to hit the switch to get the box gem because it only makes nitros. And in this version of the game, not the remake, um, not the remake, they'll still detonate from the switch instead of, even if they're not actually there. Also, you don't need the green gem to get over here. You can do a slide jump. Also, I guess there isn't a death road there, a traditional death road. It's a gem one. Okay. Oh, damn it. Like, I think I'll even go try it. Give it one more try. Yeah, supposedly that's a possible jump you can make, but I've got the gem, I'm gonna use the gem. Calm down, take it easy. Okay. There was nothing I could do there. Yeah, that wasn't going so well, because I don't know if you could tell, but I was going, I was not just going lefty righty, I was going uppy downy too. Oh, I thought that platform was gonna fall out from underneath me. That's why I was always rushing there. Okay, we're going in with 12 boxes. Need to keep track of how many we got at the end of the death route. If we still have 12, then we do not need to do it once we've got the gem. I remember we started this with like 70 lives. Not this level, but started today with 70 something lives. Good. Ah, hell. Right, not a safe spot. Okay. Okay. Huh. I didn't know that was a thing that could happen. Okie dokie. Still only 12 boxes. That was a weird sound effect. I think it was multiple sound effects layered over each other, and that's why it sounded weird, but either way, weird sound effect. Shit! Because I hesitate on that last jump. Yay! I need to check my email. I don't know why I'm even thinking of that right now, but it's true. God damn it. The funny part is that Aku Aku doesn't help me much here, because I'm mostly dying to missing jumps, I think. Bad timing. Very bad timing. Okay, I think those two you have, at least the last one you have to slide jump to. Whoa. Poor timing, because it's so hard to hear the gorillas and their logs over the rain. Okay. I got greedy on that one. Could have gotten through here with Aku Aku intact. Okay. Oh, man. Did I even finish the level that I was doing before this? No, this is the last level. This isn't the secret entrance. Go. This old dog can learn new tricks. Gah! And there's so little fruits along this path that we're like genuinely losing lives. Like most of the other times I've been stumped, I've been stuck on a section, I'd still be getting enough fruit to make it so every third life wasn't actually lost or something. This is like every 10th. That was risky. Okay, don't hesitate now. Okay, there are no boxes along the death path. Now there might be more boxes back before the checkpoint. Well, time to find out if there's more boxes along here. And yes, there's a lot of boxes along here. I think that's not a real checkpoint. I think that was a pity checkpoint. Okay. Now be careful on this because these have to be slammed to be broken. And you can only jump up 3 crates with at most. So if I'm not careful, then I could have locked myself out of extra crates. Crates, boxes, I say both. I remember growing up, it was always boxes to me. I was safe up there. The blast radius of TNT isn't high enough to reach you from up there. I just think it's funny to do that. Fantastic! Sometimes I wish for these sections they'd actually lock you to 2D control instead of this. Can't even crouch or spin. The hell was that? Part of me wants to see how well I can, if I would be able to stream N64 games. Because part of me's want to play Majora's Mask, even though I played that most recently, like sometime last year, I think. I like Majora's Mask. Easily top 5 games for me. What the fuck? I'm not doing this for a bit. I'm not certain there, but I think since those were reinforced crates I was saved, if I'd tried that with just regular crates, I think I would have died there. But, because I was too close to the TNT for clarification. I switched over to D-pad and everything. Ah. You know, I probably still have that shiny golem somewhere. I say somewhere, it's still on that cartridge for Pearl. I was still making bubble sounds. Thank you. Nice. Okay, switched off the thumbstick to the D-pad. What the fuck? While it's comical watching all that fruit get thrown into the abyss. I'd appreciate if it wasn't so slow. I got a lot less done this stream than I meant to. Granted, I also started later than I wanted to, but that's neither here nor there. Alright, don't fuck this up, please. That works. I think I just died a little bit there. Hmm? What's inside the boxes? Hmm. That was weird. They don't usually start the timer when you jump off of them. Okay, please, no more funny business. I lost a couple of fruits, but no, what the fuck? Uh, 100%. I'm doing this for 100%. I can't just give up. We gotta do it. As much as it sucks, we gotta do it. Okay. I need a drink. Hold on. That shouldn't have been hard. It was a fucking bonus. Oh no. I launched the lid of my drink off by accident. Found it though. Cool. Oh hey. Back here again. Now. Okay. See, I knew this was a pity checkpoint. See, that checkpoint makes more sense. Darn, didn't get the timing right. Hey, we're almost back to where the hard path drops you off. Another weird sound effect. I hate these. I hate these so much. These tilted pillars, especially these spinny ones. I hate them so much. There you go, rats. No. Please. I just want to be done with this level. 'Cause it's midnight. I'm getting sleepy. Okay, I'm thinking we grab the checkpoint and then we go for the nitro thing. Assuming we ever actually make it that far again. Because fuck these two jumps in particular. And I just know we've got more bullshit levels ahead of us. Like that totally fly level that's waiting for me back in the secret warp zone. Yeah, that one's gonna suck. It's a harder version of a sucky level in this game. I mean, it could be worse. There's a cut level from the original Crash Bandicoot that is a harder version of what's probably considered to be one of the hardest levels in that game. And wasn't cut because it's incomplete. No, it was cut because it was too hard. Then I think the Insane trilogy brought it back, re-implemented it, but it made it a bonus level that you didn't have to complete for completion. Well, this is almost a blind jump now. But almost only counts in hand shoes and horse grenades, so... So, sonk my donk. Conch. Okay, that level probably took a couple years off my life, which is weird because I don't think I've ever had that much trouble with it before. Okay. Woo! Yeah! Yippee! I wanted to do the boss after this. I mean, I wanted to check out the next warp room, but no.
Crash, I have discovered that the opposition is being masterminded by Dr. Nictrus Brio, the inventor of the Evolvo Ray. Brio was responsible for our misunderstandings in the past. He forced me to assist him in his plot for world domination, and he's at it again. He will attempt to stand in our way. Be on your guard, Crash. Use the platform to deliver the crystals to Engine.
We're saving. Okay. So like I said, I wanted to do I wanted to do the boss. I'm not gonna be silly about it. There's a boss. Like, no, duh, there's a boss. Um, I wanted to do the boss tonight, make it a nice. It would be a nice stopping point for the night when I got to the point where I was not finishing the game tonight. But since that ain't happening, thank you for coming by. I'm enjoying this game. I still think I like Spyro better, but yeah. Thanks for coming by, and I'll catch you later. Take it easy.